here in the matter of State of Utah versus Tyler Defa.
Hello, Your Honor. Tyler Defa.
Thank you, Mr. Defa, and I see that Ms. Fuller is here as well. All right, it's set for a justification hearing. Ms. Fuller, you have to establish a prima facie showing that Mr. Defa was acting in, or that he was justified in his use of force.
Yes, Your Honor, and we have several witnesses here. I would ask that we invoke the exclusionary rule. We have some videos to show that I think we have a stipulation on, correct, Mr. Charles?
Were you stipulating to the foundation on
Yes.
the security video? Okay,
Yes.
yeah, and I'll stipulate on the three that you cited in your motion, and I have them ready to play if you would like.
Yeah, Your Honor. So my first witness is going to be Dylan Thomas. So I would ask that everyone else be excused, and we can play those videos, and I'll examine Dylan Thomas.
Okay, my case officer is Charles Cox, and the victim is Raylene Lamoureux. I will be calling Brett Mulvey, so I think he's the only one that would be excluded.
So I believe the victim is included in the exclusionary rule, are they not? I thought you were only allowed your officer.
They're not. The victim's allowed to stay.
Okay.
All right, so Mr. Mulvey, I'm going to move you to a separate room, and you are directed to not listen to the testimony as it proceeds. We'll bring you in once you're called to be a witness. So I'm going to move you to a breakout room, and we'll just pull you in when we're ready. Do you have any questions?
Nope, that's good.
Hey, I'm going to send you over there now. You can just hit accept on that.
Okay.
All right, let's go ahead and proceed.
And so, Your Honor, this incident was caught on two different cameras, on my client's cell phone and on the Defa Dudrant security camera. And so, and then Mr. Dylan Thomas was an eyewitness. So I'd like to play first, have Mr. Charles play the security camera first, and then on the videos I provided, there's the one that is full speed, and then there's one where it's slowed down, and then there's one where it's just that initial clip. Right now I just want to play the complete one, the first link in the motion.
All right, so let me, I'll make you the presenter.
I think she wanted me to play him, Your Honor.
I would like to try to learn how, since we don't have 50 people waiting on me. I'd like to try it if possible.
Well, I can let you try it. So let's see, I'll move it to you.
And then I'll need someone to tell me how to do it.
All right, so in the upper left-hand corner, or in the upper left-hand of your screen, there's a pull-down window that says Share. So if you click Share, now do you have the video open in a web browser, on another tab of your web browser?
I thought that I did, but I will make sure that I do.
So do that first. Open up another tab on your computer where you have the video that you're going to show.
Okay, I've got it.
Now go up to the Share in WebEx, and you can select Share Web Browser. If you're using YouTube, it may be probably Share Web Browser.
Okay.
And then that will there'll be some sort of little pop-up thing there where you can select the video that you're going to show us. I think you can. Perfect. Now we are able to see that.
Okay, so you're seeing this that says Defa Dudrant's manager. You're seeing
Yes.
that one? Okay.
Correct.
So I'm just going to, it's 1 minute and 51 seconds, so I'm just going to play it to begin with.
I'm not cheating on you. Fucking touch me. You can turn to watch you. Don't start this shit. Fuck off, John. Yeah. Get it out. Oh, what? What? Stop. You can't. Raise this.
Your Honor, could I pause this for just a sec?
Sure. Ms. Fuller?
I think that at this stage, Dylan Thomas should be excluded too. He wouldn't be the one that would be laying foundation for this, so I don't think he should be able to see it before he testifies.
Okay, well, I'm going to have him testify about it because he witnessed it all.
And he can testify from his memory, but not from the video, since he's not.
I'm going to have him show in both videos who everybody is.
If he's a witness, he was present when this took place?
He was.
All right. So I think your objection, Mr. Charles, would be that he should be excluded pursuant to the exclusionary rule?
Yeah, because he wouldn't be the witness who would be able to lay foundation or anything for this. And part of the state's questions are going to go to how intoxicated he was. I think it's going to taint his testimony to see these videos if he hasn't already been shown those. And in fact, he was arrested that night for DUI.
He was arrested the next day for DUI, Your Honor. And
if he was present, he could be shown the video and then be questioned about whether he remembers the events in the video. If anything, I don't think he didn't take the video. Why don't you question him first before we go any further, Ms. Fuller, and lay foundation for his ability to recall this, because there's nothing against having a witness being able to view a video and then testify that that's what they saw or that's what they remember.
Correct, Your Honor. And I believe on foundation we have a stipulation. So if he's stipulated to foundation, then I'm going to offer it as an exhibit, and his as well. Then once it's into evidence, I can show any of the witnesses and question them about the exhibit that's in evidence. And so he has seen the security camera. He hasn't seen this one, but he can identify himself in the security camera. He was there that night, and he can identify who these people are and tell what he saw happen.
All right.
So.
All right. Why don't you, instead of just showing this to me, then why don't you go ahead and question him, and then we'll finish playing it. So, who is the witness?
It's Dylan Thomas, Your Honor, and I'm going to have him, I'm going to be pushing pause on the video as he testifies. Okay? So,
all right.
We can have him sworn in.
All right. Mr. Thomas, are you there? Dylan Thomas? Mr. Thomas, can you hear me? I've unmuted Mr. Thomas, but he's not speaking. So, Mr. Thomas, do you have a situation with your device where although you're unmuted, it's not using the microphone on your device? I don't know if you're using AirPods or something different, but you need to make some selections on your phone that will allow your phone to use your phone as your microphone. All right, no luck with Dylan Thomas.
Okay, I'm going to try to call him on my phone. Someone named Brock has signed on too. Hi, Dylan.
I can hear you.
You can hear us?
Uh-huh.
Can you, do you know how to make your microphone work?
It's on speakerphone.
Your Honor, do you want me to keep him on speakerphone on mine, or do you want me to try to walk him through how he can?
You could, as long as you keep your phone close to whatever microphone you're using. I could hear him speaking just then. If we can make a record, it will be okay.
Hey, Dylan, speak and see if the judge can hear you.
Yes, I can hear him.
Okay, that's plenty clear. Please raise your hand, Mr. Thomas. Do you swear that the testimony you will give in this matter now pending before the court will be the truth?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Fuller, go ahead.
Can we find out who Brock is, Your Honor?
Yes, someone's joined whose name is Brock. Has anybody subpoenaed someone named Brock to testify? No?
I haven't.
Brock, could you identify who you are? Gone. Okay.
Okay.
And didn't want to be here bad enough to identify themselves.
Dylan, can you tell us where you were on July 1st?
I was at DeFa's Dude Ranch.
And what part of the Dude Ranch was you at?
At the time at the bar, saloon.
Okay, when you say at the time, approximately what time was you at the saloon?
9:40, 10 o'clock.
Were you
Your Honor, I'm not able to see him. Can we have him adjust his camera so that we can see his face?
Hold on. I didn't find you guys. Did you guys kick me off of the video chat?
No.
We still see you.
Oh, I can't see you guys.
Move your camera down toward your chin. Okay, now we can see your face. Now we can see you. Is that good enough, Mr. Charles?
Yeah, I'm having a hard... Let me see if I can bring him to the stage. Where the sound's not coming through his device, I'm having a hard time keeping it where I can see it.
And if there's a bar right at the top of where you can see Ms. Fuller's screen, you can actually grab that bar and drag it down, and it minimizes the amount of area that she's sharing the screen with you, and it gives you the ability to see more people.
And now, Dylan, I want you to try to talk again and see if they can still hear you with your phone that far away from your mouth.
Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, we should be good now.
And just make sure it's
Can you now?
okay, Dylan.
Okay.
Okay. So, Dylan, so you were at the saloon at about 9:45?
Yes, somewhere in there.
Were you already there when the defendant arrived, or did you arrive with the defendant?
I arrived with the defendant.
And where was he and where was you?
I was in the corner and he was sitting in front of the door.
When you say in front of the door, is there any specific chair in front of the door?
As soon as you walk straight through, it's at the bar.
So he sat up to the bar right across from the door?
Yes.
And where were you sitting?
I was sitting in the back corner.
And about how far away is the back corner?
10 feet.
And did you have a direct line of vision of the door and the bar?
Yes.
Okay. Let me go ahead and start the video playing. Can you see this video on your screen?
I'm not. Yes.
Do you know who that individual is?
Dave.
What's Dave's last name?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Fucking touch me.
Do you know who this person is?
That is Raylene.
Raylene. And do you know Raylene's last name?
Lamory.
Okay, and tell me who Raylene is with regards to the saloon.
She is the ranch manager.
So over the entire ranch, not just the saloon?
Correct.
And are you employed by the ranch?
No.
And what is your position how are you involved with the ranch if you are?
I am the outfitter that runs the horse rides.
Okay, so the horse rides is separate than the ranch?
Yes, correct.
But you're on the ranch regularly?
Yes.
And you're familiar with these people?
Yes.
Okay. What about the defendant? What is his connection to the ranch, if any?
It's family for him, and we became friends, so he helped me out. He helped everybody out that was at the ranch.
So when you say it's family for him, what's the name of the ranch?
The face.
And what is the defendant's name?
Tyler.
Are you familiar with the service dog involved in this matter?
I am.
Tell me about that.
A dog lived
Check on relevance grounds for this hearing, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Fuller, relevance of this being a service dog?
Because they ordered him out because he had his dog there, Your Honor.
I don't think that has any relevance to an assault.
So, Your Honor, when it's justified use of force, he has a service animal that he needs to be with him that they were ordering out. And so I do think that it's relevant.
That's not a
I've looked at this.
justification to use force.
Yeah, I've looked at the statute carefully. That's neither a justification for them to use force on him, nor is it a justification for him to use force on them. So the
Okay.
existence of a service dog is irrelevant to the crime charged,
Okay.
or to the defense
Okay.
of that crime. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. And so, Dylan, when you was sitting there and watching Tyler at the bar, tell me what you witnessed.
What I witnessed, I saw a group of people push him out of the door, and a lady was on the ground, which was Raylene, and she kept asking for my name to help her, and I helped her. After that's what I witnessed.
Okay, so now I'm going to go back and start the video over. So this is the video from the defendant's cell phone. So you already identified the first two people. Tell me if you recognize anyone else in the video, tell me to stop.
I'm not keep going. Fucking touched me. You turned to watch you. Don't start that shit in. Fuck off, huh? Yes.
The dog Loki.
Okay, what did you say?
The dog Loki.
Okay, so you recognize the dog. Okay.
Out the door! For what? Hey! What? What the hell? Didn't do anything to her. Who the fuck? Did you hit her? Back it up. Why would I hit her? Back it up. I didn't fucking touch her.
They have no fucking idea.
I didn't fucking touch her. They told me to get my dog out. It's okay. Valdez. Go chill. Don't chill. Don't chill. I'm chill. No, I'm fine.
So Dylan, at this point, is the defendant in the saloon or out of the saloon?
He is outside of the saloon.
Fucking wrong. I didn't fucking touch Ray, bro. You don't know what just happened? I was talking to Tommy Hickey, bro.
That's me in the background.
Okay, so that's you talking in the background?
This says I was talking to Tommy Hickens.
Okay, so I'll back it up just a little bit.
Yes, you had it. I just worth it. But I can't back you up. I'm on record. I just get him off the fucking porch. Get him out of your stuff. Yeah, get him off the fucking shit now. I'm chill. Dude, I got this all on record. I didn't fucking touch Ray.
Oh, can you go back a little bit?
Yes.
Dude, I got this all on record. I didn't
Oh,
fucking touch Ray.
go back, right? Like 3 seconds. That would be
Tell me what you're seeing.
nothing yet. You'll see a light blue shirt.
Hey, tell Ray she just earned a $100,000 lawsuit.
I think we got to go back farther.
Okay, so you're just saying that you were the one in the light blue shirt, correct?
I'm pretty sure that was me.
Okay.
I don't remember what shirt I had on, but I think it was me.
Okay, so let me now see if I can stop sharing this. And okay, now I'm going to see if I can share the security camera footage. Okay. Are you guys seeing the security camera footage?
Yes.
Yep, I am.
Okay, so let me put it on normal speed. Okay, so first of all, can you tell me who's sitting at the bar?
That would be Tyler. The bartender's name's Jennifer.
And where is the door in regards, so Jennifer's the bartender, where is the
Yep.
door in relation to
The
that?
white, right behind that cowboy hat is the door.
And where would you be sitting at this point?
Over by the pool table.
So I'm pointing over here. Can you see where I'm pointing?
Yes, that's where I would be sitting.
Okay. Did you have a hat on that night?
I think I'm the one in the blue shirt.
Okay. Let me go ahead and push play.
Yeah, it's Tommy Hickens. That's me in the blue shirt.
Okay. So this is you at the back,
Yes.
and Tommy Hickens is right there?
Yes.
Okay. You recognize this man that just walked up to the bar?
No, I can't see his face.
Okay.
I don't know who that was.
Do you know who this lady in the background is?
Can't tell from my video or from the video.
Okay, I'll play it a little and let you watch for a little while. Now, can you see who it is?
That guy that just walked in the bar is Valdez, and that is Ray Link coming at.
So this is Raylyn talking to Tyler here?
Yep.
Okay. Do you recognize the other man who just walked up behind Raylyn?
Yeah, that's Dave.
And what's Dave's last name?
I don't know his last name.
Okay. Is that the same Dave that you saw in the phone video?
Yes.
Okay. Now this is you right back here at the back with the blue shirt on, right?
Yes, correct.
You're turning around and watching now?
Looks like I'm starting to.
Okay. Tell me what
Yeah, I
you saw.
stand up.
Yeah, this is you standing there. Tell me what you saw.
I just heard the commotion and him getting thrown out the door.
So you saw them pushing him out the door?
Yes.
About how many people were pushing him?
3. And then it turned into a bunch more after that.
Did you see anyone strike him?
I didn't get away with that part. No. My head anyway.
So who is this right here? And
That's Dave.
Dave? And this is still Raylyn pushing him out the door?
Yes. And then I'm walking out the door right now, too.
Okay, so that was you that just went out the door?
Yeah. Well, I'm still inside, it looks like. Yeah, I just went out the door when you said that, yes. And I was with Tyler.
So you were
I never saw
outside now?
Yeah, I'm outside now.
Okay.
Can't tell.
So we'll go a little bit farther so you can see her laying on the floor. Okay, so now you can see through here. You can see her laying on the floor right there?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm going to back it up to the point where you turn around.
Okay.
You can just let it play. It's only a few seconds.
Okay, so this is where you turned around?
Yep, I'm stood up.
And you see this man with his hands on the defendant?
I can't tell.
Can't tell. Did you see someone pushing him out the door at that time?
Oh, yeah, I did.
More than one person?
Yes.
And you saw Raylyn standing here in the background?
Yes.
Okay.
Right, okay, I can see his hat. It's right there.
And now you can see Tyler's
And
hat.
one guy falls backwards in his bar, that guy.
So this guy fell backwards? When you see
Yeah, if you play it, I think he falls backwards. Yep, see?
And then did you see Raylyn going forward
No.
toward the defendant?
She went forward, yes.
And then all the people pushing the defendant out?
Yeah, and that's when all the people, you can see how many people showed up over there. I mean, she had been drinking too, so.
Okay. believe that's all the questions I have for this witness, Your Honor, but I'm probably going to have to call my client as well, and I'll need a breakout with him before I do, though. But that's all my questions for this witness.
All right. Would you put it back to about 50 seconds or 45 time on the clock and then just run it so that I was looking in the wrong place at first.
Okay.
Just run it from there.
Let me try to zoom in it all.
No, it's fine.
So the two white cowboy hats are me and Tyler.
Okay.
All right, that's good enough.
Okay. That's all my questions for this witness.
All right. Mr. Charles, do you want to cross-examine this witness?
Just a few questions, though.
Do we need this screen left up, or can she quit sharing?
I don't need it right now.
All right, so Ms. Fuller, there we go. Okay.
Okay, Dylan, do you consider yourself to be friends with Tyler?
Yes.
And tell me a little bit about the living arrangements at this time. Were you living in either the same tack shed or something adjacent to where Tyler was living?
Same tack shed. He slept on my couch and I have a bedroom.
Oh, okay, so that's your place that he was staying?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And you said, I think it was when you talked about Raylene, you said that she had been drinking too. Had Tyler been drinking to your knowledge?
Yeah, we both had. Yes, we had a drink.
You'd been drinking too?
Yeah.
Okay. How long had you been there at the bar when up to the point that that video started? Sorry, let me finish the question. Okay. How long had you been at the bar for that portion of the video that we just watched where Tyler's escorted out?
I'd say 15 or 20 minutes by then.
Okay. Had you drank anywhere before coming to the bar?
No, we did not. We were working that day.
Okay. And what had you drank between when you arrived at the bar and when that video took place?
What time was the video at again? Sorry. I don't even know what time it was.
Well, and I don't think that the time matters. I just need to know what you drank between. Do you remember when you arrived at the bar?
Yeah, in the car.
And do you remember when you saw the events in that video?
Yeah, it was around 9:40, 10 o'clock.
Okay, and the time, it probably isn't important. I just need to know what you had drank between the time you arrived and when that video occurred.
Oh, what I drank? I had shots of tequila.
How many?
Probably 5.
Okay, and I know we can see that your back is to Tyler for quite a bit of the video. Do you know what he had been drinking or how much?
Yes, I bought him a shot of tequila. I don't know how many he had, but I bought him a shot.
Okay. Okay, and then you said that when you turned around, the first thing you saw was him getting pushed out the door. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And then you, a few seconds later in the video, you were talking about how many people there were there pushing him out, right?
Yes.
When you say pushing him out, do you just mean trying to get him to leave, or do you mean actually, like, physically grabbing or...
We're physically pushing him out.
All of those people that we could see in the video when you said you see how many of them there are?
The first 3, and then the rest show up, and I'm already outside by then. And Tyler's with me.
Okay, let me ask it in a different way then. Let's do it one person at a time. Tell me who the first person you saw push Tyler.
Raylene.
She was the first one you saw?
Yep. And that was Dave.
Okay, let's talk about what you saw Raylene did first, and then we'll talk about Dave. How did you see her push him, and at what point in the video is it?
When she walks up to Tyler. That's how I'm seeing it. And I can only see that on the video.
You can only see it on the video?
Yes, because my back was turned.
Okay, I'm just asking you about what you saw right now. Okay, so after you turn your back, because you didn't see Raylene pushing before you turned around, right?
Oh, well, yes. Because I walked the door.
Explain to me how you saw her pushing before you turned around.
Because I was in that crowd.
When your back was to him?
Oh, when I got up and turned around and saw what was going on, I walked into that crowd.
Okay, and so I'm asking when you first saw her push Tyler. I'm just trying to get more detail on what you saw Raylene do.
In the doorway, because I walked through the video.
Okay, and explain to me how she was pushing him.
With her hands.
Where was she touching him?
Chest.
Okay, other than seeing her pushing his chest in the doorway, did you see Raylene pushing Tyler at all? Did you say yes?
I said, other than the doorway, that's all I saw. Yes, is what I said.
Okay, thanks. Okay, did you ever see her hit him, grab him, do anything besides the pushing that you've described?
I did not.
Okay, and then you already mentioned that you also saw Dave push Tyler. Is that right?
Correct.
And Dave is the man in the black cowboy hat. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. When did you first see Dave pushing Tyler?
In the doorway.
Okay. Was that after you had walked from the corner of the bar where you were sitting over to the door?
Yes.
Now, is Dave the one that got pushed back into the bar?
Yeah, that might have been, yes.
Okay, so was it before or after he was pushed into the bar that you're saying you saw him push Tyler?
Before.
Okay, did you see him push Tyler at all after Dave was pushed into the bar?
No. That's when the whole crowd showed up.
Sorry, the sound's kind of cutting in and out on mine. Can you say that last part? Something about the crowd?
Yeah, I don't know who pushed anybody after that because there was too many people in the doorway.
Did you see other people pushing?
Yes, everybody was pushing.
Okay, can you see that in the video?
Yes. You watch it.
Who was outside? You said you and Tyler had gone out. Who else was outside?
Brett Mulvey. In the video? That's all I can tell.
No, I'm asking what you remember. You were just from being there.
Oh, what I remember, there were probably Bob Daly outside. I don't know who else was out there. I know Bob was out there playing on his phone. He could be a witness, probably.
Okay, but so you're remembering you, Tyler, Brett Mulvey, and Bob Bailey?
Yeah, and then there was, after the incident, there was a lot of people out there. The whole porch was full of people.
Yeah, and I'm just asking, still focusing on when there's pushing going on.
That's all I can remember.
Okay, when you say that you saw Dave pushing him, can you tell me in more detail what you saw, like how he was pushing him and where?
I remember him pushing him on the shoulder the first time. And then he kept grabbing Tyler.
Okay, which hand did he use to push him on the shoulder?
Both hands.
At the same time or at different times?
Same time. I possibly might have been the one that pushed him backwards. I don't remember.
Dave or Tyler is who you might have pushed?
Dave.
Okay, you said you saw Dave push him with both hands on the shoulders. Okay, did you see that more than once or just one time?
Multiple times.
How many times?
Probably, to get him out, probably 5, 10. I don't know.
5 to 10 times?
Yeah. Wanting to push somebody out and they don't want to go, I would say probably that.
Okay. Are you just guessing that, or is that what you actually saw and you're estimating?
Estimating.
Okay, but you're saying that's what you actually saw, is that correct?
Yes, to get him out the door, yes.
Okay, and you said all of that was before Dave got pushed into the bar?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, now, other than the people you've described were already outside, well, strike that, let me back up. Do you remember if you or Tyler went out the door first?
Tyler went out the door first.
Okay. And then do you remember if Brett or Bob were inside or outside when this first started?
Brett was on the porch, as far as I remember.
Okay. How about Bob?
He's the bouncer. He's the bouncer guy.
Okay.
But he was doorway. I didn't watch that part, I guess. Close enough.
And that's fine. I'm just trying to figure out what you did see. What about Bob? Do you know if he was in the bar and went out with you, or if he was already outside?
He sits out on the porch. He doesn't drink, so he just sits outside.
Okay.
Excuse me, Your Honor. Brock is back, if we can ask who that is.
All right. There's someone logged in as Brock. Can you tell us who you are? Brock, are you there? Can you talk to us? Well, neither of you has called a Brock to testify. I guess we can just make sure Brock doesn't testify.
Well, I think that the exclusionary rule, a part of the protection is for future hearings, too, if this were to go to trial, not just this.
I believe that's going to be Brock Morgeeks. He was at the bar up there.
So it sounds like...
Sounds like he is a witness, Your Honor.
All right, well, we'll just do this. Okay, took care of that.
Okay. So other than what you've described by Raylene and Dave, can you tell me any other person that you saw push Tyler?
Brett Valdez. Well, Kelly Valdez.
Okay, let's talk about Kelly Valdez.
He didn't push. He was just standing there. I don't think, no. I think it was Dave and, is it Dave and Raylene? I don't know. There were a lot of people.
Yeah, and I understand that. And I'm not trying to question whether or not there was a lot of people there. I'm just trying to figure out who you remember, and so we can get as detailed information as we can from you. Do you remember seeing
on that ranch? It was inside that bar. I can tell you.
Okay. Do you remember seeing anybody else push Tyler? Do you have any specific memory of anybody else pushing Tyler?
Oh, yeah, me.
You pushed Tyler?
I had to get him away from everybody else.
Okay. Is that when you were out on the porch already?
Yeah.
Did you at any point see Raylene laying on the ground?
Yes, I took care of Raylene.
Okay, and when you pushed Tyler, do you remember if it was before or after she was on the ground?
No, after, because I was trying to get him off the porch and go down to my house.
Okay. Okay, now I have just a couple quick questions for you about the door itself. Is it a single or double door going into the bar?
Double.
A
double
door?
Door and a main door.
Okay, but I'm talking about for how wide it is. Is it?
Oh, it's probably, well, like your house door.
Okay.
Whatever they are.
Okay. So just basically big enough for one person to go back and forth easily?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, I don't have any more questions for Dylan, Your Honor.
All right, any redirect?
Yes, Your Honor, just a couple. And so you said that everybody in the group was pushing, is that correct?
Yeah, to get him out of the door.
And did you get pushed?
Oh, yeah.
And you said that you may have been the one to push Dave backwards. Is that right?
Pretty sure I was.
Okay. And then you said, who was it that you said that was outside that's the bouncer that doesn't drink?
Brett Moldy.
Do you know if Brett would have been pulling on Dylan at all? I mean, not Dylan, Tyler.
I didn't see him do that.
You didn't see
He's
him?
one of my good friends, so
Okay.
I didn't see anything like that.
Did you see Tyler push Raylyn?
I did not.
Did you see who was pushing Raylyn before she fell?
I did not.
Okay. No further questions.
No, recross.
All right. You're welcome to stay, but you're also free to go.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, next witness.
Your Honor, can I have a brief breakout with my client?
Yes.
First, let me ask this. I believe I've established the prima facie case. If not, then I'd like to put my client on.
Well, let's talk about that because we can see what's happened. It may help to put your client on. I think it's more of a legal question than a factual question. And if people disagree with me on what they think the facts are.
Okay.
But,
So now we have two Tylers, and I believe someone else is logged in as him. Tyler, you're only logged in once, correct?
I'm logged in on my phone as well.
Oh, you are logged in twice?
I guess so, yeah.
Okay.
Just in case something dies.
Okay. So I believe that I've established the prima facie case, Your Honor. If you disagree, then I will have a breakout with my client and put him on.
Well, let's talk about the law. That's really where the question is. The statute, Utah Code 76-2-402 is where I'm at. And 2 says, an individual is justified in using force against another individual when and to the extent that individual reasonably believes that force is necessary to defend the individual against unlawful force. So I think the facts, and I don't know with the facts who actually pushed. I don't know why Raylene fell. I can't see the video did not show me the cause of her fall, either of the two. And so I don't know from what I've seen whether she fell because someone else bumped into her and knocked her down, or whether Tyler bumped into her and knocked her down, or whether Tyler pushed her and she fell, or whether Tyler punched her and she fell. I don't know any of that. I don't know why she fell. But if I assume that she fell because Tyler pushed into her, the question is, and I'm assuming that because I can't tell from the evidence that that's what happened, because I haven't heard from her or anyone else that has yet told me how it happened, and I couldn't see from the video how it happened. But the question is whether the force, and this is a legal question for both of you, it appears like, I don't remember the name of the individual, but someone else was helping Raylene remove the defendant from the bar. I don't know whether that's a justifiable use of force. It looks like someone did begin to push him, grab him. He pushed back. Then Raylene stepped in, and it appears that in the testimony is she pushed him, and then something happened that I didn't see. But the question would be whether her use of force and the other person at her direction's use of force was lawful in the first place, and then whether Mr. Defa, if in the event that he did push her back, whether his pushback was a reasonable use of force against the force that was being applied against him. So that's the question. I don't know that people at the bar have any lawful right to eject another person from the bar with any amount of force, or whether you simply have to call the police or security to do that for you. So I don't know that their use of force was lawful in the first place. And then I don't know whether his response, if any, was reasonable, because I don't know, I haven't heard yet what it's claimed that he did.
Okay, and maybe I'm going to ask Mr. Charles if he would agree to this. I'm reluctant to put my client on the stand for obvious reasons. I don't want him to further incriminate himself. If I could just proffer that his test, no, you're not going to? Okay.
No.
Okay. So,
At this point, however, I don't know that he's used any force against Raylene. From what I've watched, the other gentleman at the bar is the one that knocked her down, as far as I can tell. So,
okay.
I don't even know that he used force in this circumstance, and
And I guess that's the only issue for this particular hearing.
Well, and so, yes, so to this point, yes, so we're partway through the hearing, and under the statute, I first have to make a finding that there's a prima facie showing of reasonable use of force, and yes, I will find that there's a prima facie demonstration by you, because I don't know that he even used force, and I don't know that that force was excessive. If he used force, if it was excessive. And it appears that someone did, and I'm willing to hear from you, Mr. Charles, if you think that the other individuals at the bar use of force against him was lawful.
Well, and we can get into that when I put on my witnesses, but I think that the analysis is going kind of awry here. I think that there's an admission. When he files an affirmative defense of self-defense, I think that that is an admission that he used some force. And so I think that we're off track saying, well, we don't know if he used force. He's claiming that he used force, and that is his defense, is that he was justified.
Right, and I agree with you.
And that's not, and I don't think that...
So, but I think there may be a difference between a punch in the face versus he stood his ground and she bumped into him and fell down. Or maybe he threw a shoulder and she fell down, or he raised his arms and she fell down. And so whatever force he used at this point may or may not have been reasonable, but assuming he used some force and that's what caused her to fall, his movement of his arms or his movement of his body or his resistance to go out the door, if he was resisting her pushing him, would be perhaps reasonable if her use of force against him was not lawful. Did she have the right to lawfully push against his chest with her hands to expel him from the bar? And did that other gentleman who reached out and grabbed him and tried to turn him and push him toward the door, did he have any lawful right to do that? Because that's what resulted in Mr. Defa doing whatever it was that he did. And so I agree. I think we're to the point where there's, I'm assuming for the purposes of this hearing that he did something, but I don't know what that was. But assuming it's a push or a movement of his body that caused Raylene to fall, the question would be whether that force was, let me just look, whether it was justified to the extent that he reasonably believed was necessary to defend himself against other people using force against him.
And my argument is that Ms. Fuller hasn't put on enough evidence to make a prima facie case yet. The burden's on her to do that before I need to respond. And everything that the court has said is right now that you don't even know if he used force at all. And so I don't see how she could be saying that she's made her prima facie case if the court doesn't even know if there was any force. And so my role in this is once she's established that force was used and convinces the court that there is the prima facie case, then I have to go in and show that somehow it was beyond the scope of the self-defense. and I threw that by clear and convincing evidence. But for everything the court's saying, it sounds like the analysis is, no, there's not a prima facie case because you don't know if there's any force.
So, Your Honor, if I may, so Mr. Charles doesn't get it both ways. He can't say, well, he's already admitted there was force by filing the motion, but he hasn't shown that there's any force. So if we're going to go with, okay, he filed the motion, therefore we've shown that he used some force, now it's whether or not that's justified. So
No.
I've shown that, excuse me, Mr. Childs, just a minute. So I have shown through the videos that there was a scuffle, that he was being pushed. So I believe that I have met the prima facie case because people put hands on him, people pushed him toward the door. So then the question is whether or not any force that he did use was justified. And Mr. Charles said, well, it's simply by filing the motion where he's admitting that some force was used. And so I believe that I have made the prima facie case that in this situation, some force was used and justified based on the scuffle that you see in the video.
Okay, and my disagreement there, and when I'm saying that there's an admission of some force, I'm pointing that out to the court, saying, look, I don't think we can just say, look, I don't even know if there is force, because first, the burden initially is on the defense. They have to show that there was force used, and for the self-defense, that he used force in return, and that it's not to an excessive degree. And then that's when the state has to come in and show by clear and convincing evidence that it's not justified. But when I was talking about the admission, that was not trying to use that for the prima facie case. That's just saying I don't think that the analysis ever even goes there, that we're already admitting that there was some force used, and we have to be talking in this hearing about what force was used against him and what force he used in return. And what the court is saying right now is that you don't know if there was any force used by him.
I don't know what force. Yeah, I don't know what force was used by him.
And I don't think that the state needs to respond and say whether or not it was justified until the defense is able to establish what force was used by him. Otherwise, the state is playing both roles. We're establishing what he did and what was done in return.
Okay, give me just a moment to look at the statute.
Or if you're talking, you're muted if you're trying to talk to the court.
So it's under 76-2-309.
Yeah, just let me read for a moment. And he's charged with
assault as a Class A is the one that applies to the justification here. And there is a controlled substance and paraphernalia charge. And the reason for the Class A is for loss of consciousness.
So it's bodily injury and not serious bodily injury. Substantial bodily injury.
Substantial, that's, yeah.
All right. So I think, Ms. Fuller, that it does go to you. If your client is claiming self-defense, I need to know whether his use of force was necessary or reasonable. Let me see. The statute says whether an individual's use of force was reasonable. And since I don't know what he did, I can't determine whether it was reasonable. And it's your burden to establish a prima facie case that whatever force he used was reasonable.
Okay.
And since I don't know what force he used, I can't determine if it was reasonable or not yet.
And under the statute, then it says, at the pretrial justification hearing, after the defendant makes a prima facie claim of justification. So,
right, so I can't determine justification. So justification means the force he used was reasonable to the circumstances.
Okay.
And since I don't know, like, I don't know if he stood his ground. It depends on, I suppose, on how he stood his ground.
Okay.
If he was being escorted to the door by someone holding his upper arm or lower arm, and he punched them in the face, that may not be a reasonable use of force to defend himself. So I don't know what force he used, if any.
Okay. Your Honor, can I have a brief breakout with my client?
You may. Let me get you in with him. Okay, Ms. Fuller. Let's see. Your client's not now. He's back. Okay, go ahead. What was that?
I'm going to go ahead and call Tyler DeFay to the stand.
All right, Mr. DeFay, if you'll turn on your video. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear that the testimony you will give in this matter now pending before the court will be the truth? Was that a yes?
Hold on, I didn't hear you guys.
Do you swear that the testimony you will give in this matter now pending before the court will be the truth? Can nobody hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes, sir.
Where is Mr. DeFay?
I said yes. Can you hear me?
It's not going to work with his current bandwidth. Is he
Tyler,
in
what
court?
state are you in? No, he's not. What state are you in right now, Tyler?
There's no way this is happening.
Montana.
He's going to have to get some bandwidth.
Okay. Tyler, are you on your phone or your computer?
I'm on my computer using my hotspot. I don't have a Wi-Fi.
Do you have a different internet source?
I'm going to go ahead. Let's have him turn the video off. I think we'll be able to hear him with the video off. If the state objects, I will suspend the hearing and we'll make him go someplace where he can have adequate bandwidth.
No, let's try to get it done.
All right. Ms. Fuller, go ahead.
Okay, so we do have him sworn in under oath?
Yes.
Okay. Tyler, can you see my screen? Tyler,
Yeah.
can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna play the video that you made on your cell phone. Okay. And who is this?
That's David Bingham.
Tell me what's
He's
happening.
a patron. At this moment, he's pointing at Kelly Valdez that him and that they wanted me out of the bar.
So you were sitting at the bar, and who all approached you?
Raylan and David Bingham.
What happened before you started to record?
I showed up with Dylan Thomas about 5 minutes prior. I came through the front door, sat down. I ordered a shot that Dylan bought me. It was tequila. I ordered it through the bartender, Jennifer. As I did that, Kelly Valdez asked for my dog to leave. He's a service dog.
I don't need to hear about the dog.
Okay. Well, he asked for my dog to leave. I told him to fuck off and to go get the manager. And he ran and got the manager while I was sitting there and took my shot.
And who was the manager?
Her name is Raylan.
Okay. And then he returned with the manager?
She appeared. She showed up and stated that to not tell her bartenders to fuck off. And at that point, I started to pull out my phone. And she started screaming at me. And that's when I pressed record. And at that point, that's when she slapped my phone. While I was recording.
Just let me ask a question. So you had your phone in your hand, push record, and she slapped your phone?
Yes.
Was she trying to knock that out of your hand, or do you know?
I'm unsure what her intentions were.
Okay, and then you hit record, and then this is what the video shows, correct?
Correct.
I'm going to go ahead and push play.
She's not. Plus, touch me. You deserve to what?
And who is this?
That is Raylan, RL, the ranch manager of the Phase Dude Ranch.
And did she appear intoxicated to you?
Yes. Highly intoxicated.
Yes.
And at this point, did anyone place their hands on you?
Just Raylan when she tried to slap my phone out of my hand.
Okay.
And at this point, this is, I believe, David Bingham grabs my left arm, or right arm, I'm sorry.
And was that the hand you had the phone in?
Yes, but it was, my right hand was the one that had my phone in it, and then I think he was grabbing my left hand. But it shows it up here. This is where he was grabbing me, and I pushed him off of me.
Okay, so he grabbed you and you pushed him off of you?
Yes.
Okay. Did anyone else have their hands on you at this point?
Yes, at that point, Brett Melvey, who is the bouncer at the Phase 2 ranch, he grabbed my two shoulders and pretty much took me to the door.
So was he inside the bar or outside the bar when this started?
When this started, he was outside and came in.
And so was he closer to the door than you or farther away from the door than you?
Well, where I was sitting, he was he was right outside the door.
So when he grabbed you,
he was about 5 feet.
When he grabbed you, was he between you and the door?
He walked in through the door, grabbed me, and pushed me out the door.
Okay. So he was closer to the door than you. Did he grab you from the front or from behind?
From the front.
Okay.
And from the side, it was mostly the side, so it was kind of like both. But
okay. So while he was...
It was so quick.
Say that again?
It happened so quick.
Okay. So, but he came in from outside and grabbed you and either pushed or pulled you toward the door. Was anyone else push or pulling you that was already inside the bar?
At this point, after David falls backwards, Raylan starts coming to push me and grab me and slap me.
And how many times did she slap you?
I believe she slapped me twice.
And so you were being pulled toward the door from someone who came in the door. You were being pushed from the front. Did anyone else have their hands on you at that time?
Not that I know of.
Okay, let me play.
Oh, the door! What? Hey! What?
Okay, now you can hear in the video at this point it says raise down. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Did you see Ray go down?
No.
Which way was you facing when she went down?
I was facing the door. My leash fell off my neck, so I went and picked it up.
So when you say your leash fell off your neck, is this a leash connected to anything or just right around your neck?
Just right around my neck.
Okay. So was anyone else being pushed or shoved in the group?
No. Everyone stopped when they said Raylan's down.
Did you intend to make physical contact with Raylan after she was slapping you?
No, I had no intentions on doing any harm.
Did you have control of what was happening to your person at that time?
No, I was being pushed and controlled by others.
Pushed and pulled?
Yes.
Okay. And was you trying to break free?
Yes, I was just only trying to get away.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor. Whoops, I didn't let me start it again. Let me see if I can get out.
All right. Cross-examination.
Yeah, Tyler, you said that Ray Lynn tried to knock the phone out of your hand. At what point did that happen?
Within the first second of the video.
So was it after the video had started?
Yes.
Had she done anything to you before you started the video on your phone?
Yes, she was yelling at me.
I mean anything physical. Had she touched it all?
No.
Okay, so this slap, after you started your phone, would be on the security cam footage, correct?
Correct. We can see it.
Okay, when you watched the video, did you see it?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want me to share?
Or just switch it over to me and I can.
Oh, do I have that ability?
Let me put it over to Mr. Charles, and then he can put it right where he wants it.
Are you making it bigger and smaller, Mr. Charles?
No, do you need me to?
Oh, it just is on my screen, and I didn't know if you was doing that or if it's something on my screen.
No, he's doing it. He's sharing right now.
Okay, so are you able to see it right now, Tyler?
Yeah.
Okay, so we see you getting your phone out. I assume it's when we can see the light is when you turned it on. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Okay, show me, or tell me when you see her try to smack it out of your hand.
Right there. You gotta slow it down.
I don't think I can, but I'm going to play it again, and I'll try to...
I mean, you can clearly see it on my video that when we slow it down.
Yeah, I want you to show us on this one, though, where she tries to slap your hand, or the phone out of your hand.
Okay, she just did it.
Wasn't with which of her hands?
Okay, well, can you zoom in and slow it down at all?
I can't, sorry. I wish I could.
Well, obviously, can we watch it one more time?
Sure.
Tyler, you can hit zoom on your computer and it'll pull up more.
Okay. Hold on, let me try that. Oh, okay.
Tell me when you're ready and I'll hit play again.
Okay, I'm ready. Left hand.
Okay, I'll watch her left hand.
I'm sorry, her right hand. It's the one that's pointing at me.
Okay, tell me when you...
So
It already happened.
So, Mr. Charles, and I'll just try and assist. What I'm seeing is right there, she's got her finger up, pointing at him. I think he believed at that point she was going to try and grab or touch his phone because you can see his hand pull his phone back away from her. I don't see any, just for the record, I'm watching the video closely. I don't see her right hand make much of a move toward the phone. It doesn't look like she contacted the phone. He clearly pulls the phone away as if he believed that that's what was about to happen. If it wasn't happening, it looks like he must have thought it because he yanks the phone away, but I don't see a contact made.
Okay, and that's all I needed, Your Honor, is just trying to establish that there was no slap of the phone, as he alleges.
There was, but if we could slow it down.
Well, we have what we have. We've looked at it about 5 or 6 times.
Okay, what about the other video?
Okay, Mr.
The other,
go ahead.
the other video that you're referring to is the one on your phone, correct?
Correct.
And in that video, you can definitely see the phone moving around a lot, but you can't see anything slap the phone, can you?
Yeah, you can. Can I share it?
I'll back it up here. I'll just play it from the beginning.
You're on the VLC player. If you hit the minus button on your keyboard, it will slow it down.
I don't think we need the VLC player anymore. The judge already made a finding on that. Okay, is everybody able to see the other video, the one off YouTube that was recorded on his phone?
Mine is just a gray screen right now.
So
yeah, same here.
I can see the video, and I've heard the defendant's testimony that she hit the phone, and I can make a record that what I'm seeing from the video, once it comes on, I see what appears to be her hand swipe right in front of the camera of the phone just as he is pulling it away. And so whether there is contact made or not, I think that's undeterminable, but it looks as though she does make a swipe toward the phone that is very close to, if not touching, the lens of the camera. And it appears it's that her hand is swiping across the video right in front of the phone. And it's just 1 second into the video, it looks like.
Okay, I'm having some computer issues just for a sec, Your Honor. Is it still showing the video on your screen?
No, we're seeing gray. And I'll indicate that my description of this is Ms. Fuller had shared the video link, and so as we began to talk about this, I pulled it up to see if I could just play it. So I'm looking at a YouTube link that was sent to me, and what I'm describing takes place from the very beginning of the video. Really, it's between the second and third seconds, it looks like.
Yeah, and I'm satisfied with the record that you made on that, Your Honor.
Okay.
Okay, now, you had said that you were pushed by Raylene, is that correct, Tyler?
Yes.
Tell me in a little bit more detail about just what Raylene did. Was pushing you the first thing she did? First physical thing?
No, the first physical thing she did was stop my phone.
Okay, and we've made a record on what actually happened on that. What was the next physical thing that Raylene did?
After as I'm going out the door, she slaps me twice.
Where did she slap you?
In the door.
No, where on your body?
I think on my chest or my right arm. It's whatever you can see on my phone.
Okay, so your testimony is that she hit you twice?
Yes, and then grabbed my left arm.
With which of her hands?
She used her right hand to slap me, and then grabbed my left arm.
Okay.
And
so use her right hand to slap you twice?
Yeah.
Okay, and then which hand did she use to grab you?
Right.
Okay, and then what happened?
And then next thing I know, she's on the ground.
Okay, and where was Brett?
He was outside before this all went down.
Okay, and you said that he had grabbed your shoulders, is that correct?
Yeah, arms, shoulders.
Okay, or is your testimony that he was holding on to you when you say that Raylene slapped you, or had he let go?
I believe he let go, and I was already in the door frame at that point.
Okay, when you say the door frame, as your phone kind of pans down, it looks like you're standing outside the door on like some astroturf or a rug. Is that where you were at that point?
When she's down, that's where I'm at. But when she slaps me, I'm in the door frame. The door was open.
And so did you just have to take a step back?
Well, I was still being pushed out. I didn't have to take a step back. I was being pushed out.
To get to where you were, though, you didn't fall down, right?
No.
Was it just like one step backwards to where your phone pans down? I'm just trying to figure out how far it was from what you're calling in the doorway to when we can see that you're standing outside.
I mean, yeah, it was one step back after I was being pushed and slapped.
Okay. And other than, you said that Dave had grabbed you and you'd pushed him back into the bar.
Dave. I'm sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. Dave was doing what?
That he had grabbed you and you'd pushed him back into the bar?
Yes. I was trying to get away.
Okay, and then you've told us about some things that you say that Raylene did and that Brett had grabbed you. Other than those three, did anybody else touch you?
No.
Okay. No further questions for Mr. Defa, Your Honor.
All right. Any redirect, Ms. Fuller?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm going to try to share the... Oh, I can't share. Can I have permission to share?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Can you hear me
No.
okay, Tyler?
Okay, now I can see it.
I'm going to play the video, and I'm going to try to stop at where she's slapping you when you're in the doorway. And if you see it, tell me to stop. Let me see if I can speed it up just a little bit.
I mean, can we slow this video down to show her slapping my phone?
No, we're not talking about that right now. I'm talking about when she was slapping you on your arm before she pushed you out the door.
Okay.
Back to normal speed. Okay, let's see. I believe this is where we're going to see her slap you. Tell me if I'm correct.
Yes.
Okay, so we saw her raise her hand up. That's when she hit you on the shoulder.
Yep.
Okay. Now, when you said that...
Can you go back again, Laura? That's not
Good.
what I saw.
And when you go back, you can clearly see that Dave is grabbing me.
And now she goes forward.
Yep.
Okay. Now, when you said that those were the only three people...
I think, well, and I'll just make a record of what I'm viewing. There's something in the field of view of the camera that's at the top of the bar, hanging from the ceiling, that's blocking the upper bodies of the people in the doorway, so there's not much can be seen about what happened just inside the doorway or outside the doorway.
Okay. But, Tyler, that was right where we saw her.
Objection leading, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll let him watch it again.
Well, it's the leading question was the objection, not that he didn't see it.
Tyler, tell me to stop when you see where she's slapping you.
Right there.
Okay. So, and how many times did she slap you?
Twice.
Now, when you said that there was only those three people that you know that put their hands on you, was there a lot of shoving going on?
Yes, from behind and, yeah.
Is it possible that other people touched you and you don't know who they were?
Yeah, I didn't know. Before I went in there was 3 or 4 people on the porch, and there could have been more since I got there, and especially with the commotion going on.
Okay, no further questions.
No further questions.
All right.
That's my last witness, Your Honor. I believe I have established a prima facie case.
All right. I am finding that it has been a prima facie case of justification shown. And the reason for that ruling is that the alleged victim was acting aggressively toward the defendant. She took a swipe at his phone, and his testimony is that she actually touched the phone. She clearly does make a movement at least toward the phone. I can't tell from the video whether there was actual contact, but it was close, close to being contact, but it looks like she did make a movement toward his phone. Then as he began to walk away, retreating from her presence, she continued to approach him, as did another person who was apparently acting at her direction to help eject him from the bar. The other man, Dave, I believe was his name, made the first physical contact. He was pushed away, and then the alleged victim made further contact with the defendant, pushing him toward the door, and the testimony is that she slapped him twice on the shoulder or arm, and that he did some intentional motion with his body that may have resulted in her being hit. To the extent that he used force in that circumstance, the court finds that there's a prima facie showing that it was justified at that point.
Can I ask for one question just for clarification?
Yes.
When you talk about there being contact between Raylene and the defendant, it's hard to explain when. You made the finding about Dave making first contact and then them moving towards the door, and this is after her movement that you described towards the phone, and it's when he says that she slapped him twice and you made a finding that there was contact?
Based on his testimony.
Okay, and that's the clarification I wanted, is just whether you were finding you could see that in the video or...
I could not see the slapping in the video. Okay, I can see that he has stepped back either in the threshold of the door or outside the threshold of the door. She continues to advance toward him, but at that point their entire upper bodies are obscured, so I can't see her slapping, and I can't see what he does from the security footage there because it's being blocked by something up near the ceiling. And so I'm basing her slapping of him only upon his testimony and the fact that she is near enough in the video to have been capable of doing that. The video doesn't disprove that she could have slapped him because, had she been further inside the bar and we could see she didn't approach him, then I wouldn't accept his testimony. But she is near enough him at that point that it's plausible that she slapped him. And secondarily, in his camera footage, although very difficult to view, there is one point, and I can point you out to it's after you see, there's a brief view of Dave falling back toward the bar. Let me see if I can locate it. At about 16 seconds, there is a very brief shot of her with her arm extended that could plausibly be her striking out at him with her right arm. You can't determine whether she struck him from the video, but it doesn't discount his testimony. It's plausible within his testimony that that's what was taking place. He's in the proper location, she's in the proper location, and it's showing her right arm extended toward him and his camera. As best I can tell from the video. Again, the video evidence is relatively difficult to observe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for the clarification on that point.
All right, so now I think under the statute we turn to the state, and the state shows by clear and convincing evidence that that he was not justified.
I agree. And the state is first going to call Raylene Lamoureux.
Hey, Ms. Lamoureux, are you there? All right, Ms. Lamoureux, you've been...
Okay, I'm here.
Thank you. Would you please raise your right hand and be sworn to tell the truth? Do you swear that the testimony... Do you swear that the testimony you will give in this matter now pending before the court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Raylene, will you please state your name and spell your last name for the record?
My name is Raylene Lamoureux, Lamoreaux.
And how are you employed?
I'm employed by the DeFa's Dude Ranch.
And what was your position at DeFa's on July 1st of 2023?
I'm the ranch manager.
Okay, were you in the bar or the saloon on that night?
Yes, I was.
And did you see the defendant in this case, Tyler DeFay, in the bar on that night?
I was in when they first arrived. I was in the back room. We had a band that night, so I was in the back room with the getting the band all started, and then I was asked to come and talk to him by one of my bartenders.
Okay, and what was the reason you were asked to go and talk to him?
Because he was swearing at my bartenders because my bartenders asked him to have his dog lay down by him or remove the dog, because if it's a service dog, it has to be laying right next to you or on a leash.
Okay, you've mentioned that he was swearing at the bartender. Was there any kind of trouble that you had with him when you went out to talk to him?
Oh, yeah, he had an attitude with me before I even opened my mouth. He started, you see me walk over to the door first, and then you see me come up to him. Well, when I walked over to the door, it was F you this, F you that, F you this. And then when I said to him, this is no longer about the dog, because the dog just kept wandering the whole floor and we had a band. So, that's what the bartender said to him. You've got to have the dog lay down. It has to be in one spot. It can't be wandering everywhere. And so that's all it started out as, and all he just kept saying was, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. And so I walked over to him.
Let me stop you there for a second. At any point did you ask him to leave?
Yes, I did.
What was the
I
reason?
said, this is due to your attitude.
Okay, did he comply with your request to leave?
No, he did not. He told me, F you, you cannot make me leave.
Okay.
And that's when he turned his camera on.
Okay, did you try to physically remove him yourself?
Not by physical force, no. When he pulled his camera out, I did wave my hand in front of his camera because I didn't want him taking my picture.
Okay. At any point, did you try to push him, pull him, or grab him in any way to remove him from the bar?
When he stood up, he started forcefully towards me, and I did put my hand out to stop him. I'm an abused child, and so I do get defensive when someone forcefully comes at me.
Okay.
And then when we did head towards the
Slow down just a little, Raylene,
sorry.
and it'll go faster if...
I'm a little nervous, sorry.
And I understand. And I'll try to focus what we need on the questions. If you'll just answer just the question I ask. And
Okay,
then,
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. So when you say that he came towards you, were you able to see that in the video?
I think you see him get up off the stool, and then he takes a step towards me, and then I kind of turn, and then he has his back towards the door. And then, okay, so the person, this Dave person, I do not know him. I did not know him at all. He was there listening to the band. He just noticed that I was having a problem, and he came and backed me up.
At any point, did you ask him for help?
No, I did not.
Okay, so
And
back
so
to
then
where,
that's when we're close to the door, and then that's when Dave gets pushed.
okay, so
And then
just back to when you back to when you say you put your hand up. Did you push Tyler, or did you just put your hand up when he was coming?
I just put my hand up, and he pretty much walked into me at that point.
Okay.
And then when we're facing the door, and we go towards the door, and then I kind of take a step back, and then I come back into it, it was because I saw everybody pushing him, and I went into the circle and tried to stop what was happening at the door because somebody was going to get hurt, and it ended up being me. Tyler, when I got into the middle of that circle...
Hey, Raylene, slow down and let's just stick to the questions for a minute, okay? Who did you see pushing him?
Go ahead.
Who did you see pushing Tyler?
It was Dave and Dave's dad. Not Dave's dad, Dave's uncle. And I don't know his name. I had just met them.
Were you able to see him in the video?
Yes, he's the really tall, skinny one at the back. He comes in at the very end, and they push Tyler, and then that's when I come from the side where I'm standing by the booth, and I come in, and I touch Tyler's chest. I don't hit him. I don't slap him. I just touch his chest. He grabs hold of the front of my shirt and pulls me out the door with him, and he's outside and I'm in the door frame, and we all fall to the right, and then Tyler yanks me really hard back to the left by my shirt, and I had scratch marks on my chest, and I had brain surgery 5 years ago, and I hit right where I had the surgery, and it just knocked me out cold.
Okay, when you say that you hit, what did you hit?
I hit the metal door frame.
Okay, and tell me again which hand you said he grabbed you with?
It was his left because he had his cell phone in his right.
Okay.
And I don't know if he meant to grab me or I just got grabbed because I was there and he was falling backwards.
Falling backwards because someone pushed him or for some other reason?
Right. But we went to the right and then he yanked me really hard back to the left. And that's when I hit the door frame.
Okay. If I can have just 1 second, Your Honor. Based on what we've just learned from Ms. Lamoureux's testimony, Your Honor, I'm moving to amend count 1 from assault, a Class A misdemeanor, to disorderly conduct as an infraction.
All right. All right. That would conclude this hearing, and your motion is granted. I'm going to order that, let's see, is it count 1?
Yeah.
We'll order that count 1 be amended from a Class A misdemeanor to disorderly conduct. And are there multiple levels of disorderly conduct?
There is. If there's a request to desist, it's a Class C. And actually, that's the way that I'll refile it, because it sounds like there were multiple requests. So it would be as a Class C. If there's no request to desist, then it's an infraction.
I'll grant the amendment to disorderly conduct, a Class C misdemeanor. All right.
Okay, just for clarification, Your Honor, I wasn't given an opportunity to cross-examine, so when we get to trial, I don't want to be told I can't cross-examine this witness if she's not available, because I wasn't given that opportunity today.
Well, yeah, this hearing has nothing to do with what will happen in trial.
Yeah.
Understood. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, everyone is excused. Appreciate the good work done by everyone. I hope that anything I did was as good as what both of you did. Thank you.
Thanks, Your Honor.